Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Funkable Operator Podcast, episode 49. This is Jay Funkadelic speaking. How y'all feeling on a Wednesday afternoon? Y'all feeling all right? Well, I got a story to tell about Cardi B when she was in court, about the trial that she was on, and, she was not found guilty of all counts. Big up to Cardi B. Big up to my homegirl Cardi B in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Big up to my homegirl Cardi B. She is straight out of prison. I know she was on trial, but she never went to prison. But she on trial because she assaulted some bodyguard over there, some security that she wasn't really realistic with. And, the situation with her is like not really messed up in my own terms, but I just love entertaining people, not to use profanity, but I want to talk about hip-hop stories that happened like in the 90s, only in the 90s. The early, mid, and late 90s of hip-hop music. How will I know about this? How will I know the real deal about situations with rap music these days? How will I figure out that the vinyl is one of the best music that you ever play on a record player? Just spinning records. You know what I'm saying? Like spinning that Rhino 12-inch record. Staying Alive and Night Fever. Who I would know about the Bee Gees? Could I really think about the Bee Gees for a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Like, shout to my, rest in peace, shout out to Barry Gibbs. You know what I'm saying? From the Bee Gees. I have a story to tell about the situation with that everything could be okay in life. You just got to be real and take it easy with yourself. No shot of a doubt. They were talking about Jelly Roll and the other wrestler on the Joe and Jada podcast. I was watching it. Shout out to my boy Ghostface Killer for that Supreme Clientele too. Shout out to the Clips with a new album. Shout out to Raekwon with a new album. Shout out to Cardi B that's dropping her album in later this month. I Am the Drama. Be on the lookout for that. Cardi B, I Am the Drama. Coming out later on this month. And later on next month, I'm going to drop my own hip-hop album, Funkable is Forever. Believe what I do in the hip-hop situation with me making dope beats. I run off the dope lyrics. How you recommended, why. I'm just saying it for a fact. I'm saying everything for a fact. From the time being, how you understand it. Let me see if I get my man on my podcast for the first time. And he's one of the realest dudes I ever met since the Ultramagnetic MCs concerts. I want to see if I get him on my podcast. I don't even know how I'm going to reach this dude. I don't know how I'm going to reach bro. It's kind of tough. So I don't know what to tell you. I really can't even describe nothing about listening to Richard Clark, the guy that I've been talking about, the way I can handle a podcast just like anybody would ever see it this way. If I could just try to talk to real people and doing the real deal about somebody. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are going to respect me in the name of God and Jesus Christ. How will I know about somebody coming on my live and they don't want to be saying anything else? Why would I think about these things that they try to making sure people are going to be not really overdoing me or whatnot. But I love to be in a good situation for myself. You know, well, I've got a lot of situations with work, wordplay of spitting rhymes and getting myself together and not being a punk, not act like a B word. I love watching South Park, the latest episodes with Cartman, Kyle, Kenny, and Stan. You know, South Park is one of the most best cartoons I ever watched since Family Guy and Beavis and Butthead. My favorite character on South Park is Cartman. He is off the chain. I love Cartman. That's my favorite character on South Park, Cartman. He is a funny, hilarious cartoon character. Ain't no South Park comedian could do it better than Cartman. Mr. Miyagi be like, okay, and Mr. Han, you know, and what's this guy's name? Randy. That is Stan's son. No, Stan's father, Randy. Black guy with the black mustache. He's not a black guy, he's a white dude that began himself in a lot of trouble with the law. He is a funny guy from South Park. Shout from my boy Cartman and Randy. Those are my dudes. Even the guy that's on crutches is funny also. You know, I like Kyle, man, with the thing on the green hoodie that had a house on his head. What we call that thing, a green hoodie. I enjoy watching South Park because it's very entertaining for me in adulthood of watching cartoons. I like watching adult cartoons better than being on a Comedy Central or MTV or some type of thing. How do y'all remember watching South Park when they had Isaac Hayes playing as a chef? How remember people on my live remember Isaac Hayes? How many of y'all remember Isaac Hayes when he was a chef in South Park? We don't know about that. What about my favorite? My favorite guy that came out of the toilet was Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh. Y'all remember that? Funny son of a gun. He looks like dog crap that came out of a toilet bowl. Oh my God, Mr. Hanky. Every time he jumps out of the bowl, he be leaving crap stains all over the floor, and he has eyes like the 1920s Mickey Mouse. I'm serious. And he goes, hey. I remember my cousins, rest in peace. Cousin Lewis, Anthony, and cousin Gary used to watch loving watching South Park. Even when Kenny got killed, from rats and Kenny couldn't even talk. Used to mumble. Used to have his orange coat so freaking tight. It was like, he never said nothing. Never said nothing. I'm getting ready for a lot of action this fall in September. The kids going back to school. I know they're being back to school tomorrow, and the buses and trains are going to be packed. What if I would have known people are going back to school tomorrow? My school's in the past, bro. The 80s and the 90s era was my middle school and high school days. My 80s and 90s era was my school days, middle and high school. Those were the 80s and 90s when hip hop was real. When I did social studies, when I did math, when I did subtraction, addition, but no algebra. I did not do no algebra ever because I couldn't even understand it. Why, from the time being, I would never knew how to do algebra. How many of y'all think I ever did algebra? Do you realize how algebra could be? Algebra could be easy, could be difficult for some people. A lot of people don't respect the cultures like I respect the culture. In life, people have different tastes. I got all flavors of taste, of music, passion, and love for the genres we all listen to. Guy was complaining that was putting rock records on hip hop records. Could y'all remember that? I was playing rock with hip hop. That was like a back in the day thing when Run DMC did it and Public Enemy did it and LL did it. They all rapped on rock records, especially the Beastie Boys and Rage Against the Machine. You know what I'm talking about? There was I remember like Busta Rhymes rhymed off to a rock record. It was called This Means War, and it featured Ozzy Osbourne. Rest in peace, Ozzy. He was one of the greatest rock and roll stars that ever existed. And nobody is going to duplicate your music. Nobody. I don't like just hip hop. I don't like just rap. I like rock. I like R&B. I like reggae, some reggae, and I listen to oldies. I like music before my time, my parents' time. I could take it back to the 1950s to listen to music. You know what I'm saying? Like in the 60s or 70s when they had Chuck Berry and like Billy Joel was out before I was born. Kiss was out before I was born. All these Kiss stars that had that makeup on. Gene Simmons was the scariest one that I ever seen in my whole life when I was a kid. He used to scare the hell out the daylights out of me. Gene Simmons from Kiss. When I was living in the Catskills doing that arcade game with Gene Simmons was like he was gonna like do something stupid. But it was only imaginary things because it was all make believe crap. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of things I was scared of back in the past because I didn't really know how the cat had to really sound. There's a lot of feuds I've been dealing with people over the years, getting punched in the face and just having an altercation, and people are jumping me like a pack of dogs. This happened back in the day when I was in Pledgeville Cottage School. The Edenwald years was good, but I learned a lot up there. And I really did my thing for all the teachers that supported me over the years. I've been marinating and going to school and being smart. Going to school and being smart and be who I am today. Hands down. I love to participate in a lot of hip hop events. And a lot of people be saying I'm everywhere, but not all over the world. I cannot be in California. I cannot be in Jerusalem. I cannot be in Turkey. I can't be in any other state but New York. I cannot meet every artist like I almost did, but there's a lot of artists I ain't really meet yet that I want to meet. There's a lot of artists I like to take photos with. if security don't get in the way or the bodyguards get in the way. I just got to have a look out for that, because a lot of people are telling me to back up, and they push you like you're a door. Makes no goddamn sense how people will treat you in life. Makes no goddamn sense how people are gonna like get rid of you, and you don't come back, and you're banned, and you act crazy. You will never come to an event like that no more. The only event that I can't go to for a long time is the Polygon. I never liked the Polygon. I don't want to go back there no more. That club is garbage. Total garbage. Rated TG, total garbage. Exactly. But hip hop is all over the world now. I've been writing rhymes back in 1989, doing my own thing, and just eating new words, what people are saying in conversations. I learned a lot of new words from Jonathan Ortiz. I learned a lot of new words from a lot of people, basically. You know, I learned a lot of new words like people don't know about. I know a lot of words that these young kids don't know about. I never learned how to speak Spanish. I never learned how to. I can speak only halfway Spanish, but not fully Spanish. People think I'm Latino. I'm not Latino. I'm Italian. I'm Catholic. I take no prisoners. I don't take no for an answer. I hate to be an inmate. I hate to be locked up, but that shit's never going to happen to me. I was this close getting arrested and being in jail, this close. I had to pay a fine for $25 back in 2008 from trespassing on the bus. I had to go to court with Ronaldo, my former MFC. Why would I think about going to court with somebody? And people don't stick up for me like I need a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Facing the judge and putting my hands on my back and paying a lot of money for a fine. People ain't got the right money for the fine. I can get locked up and people can search for me all they want. They can track my footprints. But I'm very too good to be in prison. I don't need to go to jail because I just did something for no reason, or a crime that I didn't even commit. You know, there's a lot of people are going to be hating. A lot of people in this world are going to be violent. A lot of people are not going to respect you. A lot of people are going to disrespect you. A lot of older people than me are going to disrespect me or you. It doesn't matter where you go in life. Some people might tell you things that sound heartbroken. Some people tell you things that are not true. And people like to tell a locket of lies what they do on their podcast shows. And they say all this crazy stuff about, I did a track with this guy, I did a track with that guy, but where's the record when you need it? Where is the record? You don't have to lie about you making a record. You tell the truth. But why understand like you did a record with somebody? My man, you have to be honest. You did a record. You got to be honest. If you're doing a record with somebody that you know. I was looking to do a record with Fred the Godson. I was looking to do a real record with Fred the Godson. And I would not pay him money to be on a record with me. The only thing I would have did is do it for the love and respect for hip-hop music. I would not pay him a fortune to be on my record. Because no, I don't have that kind of money. That's enough money to buy a computer. That's enough money to buy a mixer. Okay? With that money, I can save for charity. I'm not going to spend it on an artist. Did you know there was an artist from Staten Island, like me, Jojo Pellegrino, charging people $5,000 to do a feature with JJP? He must have lost his mind. And I told him, I don't have the money for it. You know, don't be flipping birds on me because I ain't got the money to do a record with you for $5,000. Maybe you're kind of broke in your empty wallet to get $5,000. If you worked on construction and if you did if you worked in New York City on construction, you would need $5,000. But you have to put it week after week. That's enough to pay rent for your house. That's enough to pay rent for 5 goddamn houses. Why are you telling people you want to charge $5,000 to do a record with you? You must have lost your mind, and you're putting the pitfalls on a lot of people because you're hating and your attitude is very disgusting. Your attitude smells worse than dog crap. It smells like the rats came out of a sewer. Who's going to pay you $5,000 to do a record with somebody? Who's going to pay you that type of money to do a record for $5,000? You're robbing people. That is a real goddamn scam. That is a real effing scam. Forget it. I'm not with it. People can kiss my ass if they want to do $5,000 on a record. You gotta be joking me. They have that kind of money. You would maybe somebody would go play the lottery, stay online and play in the lottery to do a feature for $5,000. How in the blue hell are you gonna hit the lottery if you don't even your numbers don't come out? And you're looking to do a track and pay the guy for $5,000. That makes me sick. That makes me sick to my stomach. You're being greedy with the money. You want to be greedy. How are people going to give you $5,000? Where the money's going to come from? Maybe somebody would do a feature with somebody. They might want to rob a bank. Do a record for $5,000. Go and take the money out of people's accounts to get $5,000. You want to pay the guy to a feature for $5,000? That is a real goddamn ripoff, bro. You're wasting your time doing a record for $5,000. You know what? And you want to fight the brother because you ain't got the money to do a feature for $5,000? You're bugging. The worst rapper, the worst Italian rapper that ever said something like that was Jojo Pellegrino. He's a scam. Do not give him $5,000 to do a feature with him. If he says that on his live, don't even bother with him. Leave him alone. He is a real goddamn joke. It's a scam for what he does. You can't trust these people what they do. They want to think they want to have a lot of money to pay them and do a feature. I'm not with it. You just got to be like, I don't think so. My brother don't play that. You know what I'm saying? People are not going to respect you. People are going to hate. They're going to hate me. They're going to hate a lot of other people. People are not going to respect you. They will crap all over you like they're putting a butt in your face on the toilet. People don't even care no more. They don't respect anything. people are going to suck their teeth and like, what's up with this guy? You got to be mindful of what you're going to say to people. If you're not mindful that you're going to pay somebody $5,000 to a track, you're bugging. You're bugged out and you're thugged out from saying some stuff like that. I don't want to pay anybody any money to a wreck with me. I'm not paying nobody. I don't want to do that. That's whack. That's completely, totally trash. You understand? You had this girl talking crap. Her name was Official Champagne, and her music is garbage. Don't bother listening to her music. She wants to walk around the streets half naked. The girl got exposed. She ain't gonna be a big star. She ain't got no lyrical bars. She's bugged out and thugged out. She looks like a real fat whore, trying to get people's attention, thinking she wants to be the next Cardi B. I told the bitch, go fall back somewhere, because you ain't nothing without your homegirls. You ain't nothing. I don't have to perform at your stupid event. I don't have that type of money to pay you to perform. I don't want to pay nobody $100 to perform. Because every time that I want to perform, you're already booked. You're already booked. Every time it happens, you're already booked. Don't play yourself. I can find other events that can make me rock the mic. If you don't like the way I rap, put your headphones on and listen to something else. No one cares about you listening to Hot 97. No one cares if you listen to Power 105.1. No one cares about what station you like. You're saying the best rapper you ever loved is Future. You're saying you like Drake, you like Kendrick Lamar, you like all these up-to-date male rappers that come out with an album and you're feeling it and you're dancing to it. I'm not mad at Drake, but Drake's alright. I'm not really feeling his music that much. I'm trying to say that. Because, Drake is like the Fonzarella in hip-hop. I found Drake the new Fonzarelli in hip-hop from Happy Days. I'm not really a Drake fan. I'm sorry. I can't be around this dude. I don't care about no Drake. I don't care about any artist that doesn't have no talents. I'm not really feeling Offset no more. I really hate Offset. He is trash. As far as music goes, garbage. Totally garbage. I don't like to listen to that Elephant Mama cocksucker. I can't really stand him, and I'm not really feeling him because he absolutely sucks. A lot of rappers that I heard on the radio really sucked. They've been playing hip hop from South Africa. They'd be playing hip hop from New Jerusalem. They'd be playing hip hop in the West Indians. And listen to Afro beats. I really can't stand it. I think Hot 97's got a lot of problems in their own lives. Do you believe DJ Enough? I'm sorry. Do you think Funkmaster Flex fired DJ Enough? Was it a joke or that was a scam? You let me know right now. If I was the manager on Hot 97, I would have fired everybody. I would have fired the whole Hot 97 entire family. If I was working on that, I would have fired everybody. I didn't care if you played mumble rap. I didn't care if you played that stupid trap music. If I was on Hot 97, boss, the manager of Hot 97, I would have fired everybody that was on there. Morning and afternoon, evening, and overnight. They would have all lost their jobs because of me. I would have been a hip hop terrorist on Hot 97. Okay? I would tell them to bring back good hip hop music. Stop playing that trap crap. Stop playing that drill shit. And stop playing all this bull nonsense on the radio. Because all these people are not going to really feeling it. Jim Jones got some good music, but why he say he's better than Nas? I don't get it. Why did Jim Jones say he's better than Nas? When he said that, he made my mind want to puke all over the street. I said, Nas is better than Jim Jones. Yeah, but actually, Dice Peso is an upcoming rapper. I don't care if he likes BET. I don't really care about that, brother. I see him at many places. I knew Dice Peso for 10 years. I'm long enough to be his big brother. This guy be rapping like he's a hip-hop Roger Troutman. You can hear the auto-tune in his voice. Like it sounds robot. Every time I listen to Dice Peso on a record, I've been hearing him spit like auto-tune, like Roger Troutman and T-Pain in a mix. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these rappers sound like a robot. You know what I'm saying? I can see Dice Peso sounding like a robot when he raps. Like he's a young cat wearing all these chains and having all this money. I don't even need that. I put my money in the bank. I don't want to flash my money in the street. I'm not telling people I have a lot of money and flash out. I don't want to do that. Some rappers got killed doing that. A lot of rappers got killed from showing off their money and their bling. A lot of Instagram livers are really jealous about that. You can't even be around these people. They want to come to your house. They want to take a sledgehammer and break down the doors and look, take out a gun and shoot you for that type of reason. And you'll be dead your damn self. A lot of people don't respect the culture. That's why Pop Smoke got killed. Nipsey Hussle got shot in his own hood at the Marathon in Crenshaw, Los Angeles. Back in the early 2000s, Jam Master Jay got killed in his own hood. And one of his suspects that killed him was guilty of all counts. JMJ all the way. Jam Master Jay all the way, brother. If you became a famous rapper, if you ever became a famous rapper, right? If you ever lived like an entrepreneur and you want to open up a business, be careful out there. Be careful, stay away from the gang members and the Bloods and Crips. Because most of those guys know that you're famous and you're popping and you got a set of fans. Maybe some people are going to look to take out a gun and kill you. Because, you were famous and then people are going to knock on your door, pull out a gun and blast your ass to smithereens. And then what? The only place I would never going to eat at is Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And that's in Los Angeles, California. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. That is a dangerous spot for rappers to go eat at. P&B Rock got killed in Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Young Dolph got killed in Memphis. You remember what I just said. Lil Snoop got killed. For some types of reasons, rappers be getting killed and gunned down for some violence reasons. You want to say stop the violence, but the violence ain't going to stop. Most people are going to do some stupid stuff in the near future, and people don't even realize or know it. Life can be a real bitch. Life is a bitch. Remember what I'm talking about. Life is a bitch. And then you drop that after that. Nobody in life lives forever. Everybody in life has an expiration date. Even when you're old, even when you're sick, even when you have a fever, heart attack, whatever the hell it is. Your life is going to have an expiration date. Take it from me. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of people ain't going to feel your music. People are going to look to be jealous and take what you have and look to gun you down. You can never trust these little kids. You can never trust kids that are in their teens or 20-something years old or even older to be robbing things, shoplifting for items that they really want, that they're so desperate to get, and they don't care about life. They don't really care. A lot of people do care, and a lot of people don't care. Because most of these rappers that got record deals and all this money and cars and jewelry and bling bling don't respect the culture. They don't respect the elements. They don't respect it. Some of these new rappers I'm hearing nowadays are a little kiddie hip hop. Well, Hot 97 Summer Jam is hip hop for kids. You go to a Hot 97 concert, and all they play is that phony, technical, corny shit, and I'm really not even want to listen to it because I know some of the music that they play nowadays on that radio is kind of trash. But if you want it to be trash, that's you. Just do a hip hop record that people are feeling and take it back to the essence. Why don't you? Take it back to the essence. Don't make people, you're the one that wants to do a hip hop record and make a hit. And people think you're the shit, but you're not. You're making all the producers a star, and you're not a star spitting your bars because you want to rap on a track and all of a sudden you're singing. That ain't rap. That ain't hip hop. A lot of these dudes are singing when they're rapping. That's not hip hop. I don't recommend that hip hop, period. You live in a house on the hill, you live in the Hamptons, you live in Georgia, you live in Atlanta, and you have all the fame. You live in a big ass mansion that costs millions of dollars. And you got the hottest record in the country. Thinking you're the shit, thinking you got game, and people can never take away your spotlight. You perform at the venues all across the world, thinking you got power, thinking you want to show off everything, even if you're a female rapper. You want to get guys' attention when you walk on the concert stage half naked and shake your fat booty, thinking you want to be someone, while you in the concert looking at another girl shaking her ass at the concert, and your mind gets infatuated. The boyfriend comes back over there, and you find yourself getting your ass whooped. people are not going to respect you. I've been looking at too much girls with no clothes on doing paparazzi. Girls be shaking their ass all over New York City, talking about how the way they look. And they be asking me, oh, I think you're doing too much. But if I'm doing too much, stop letting your girls expose themselves on camera. And stop looking to make my dick get wet, because you ain't, ain't gonna be looking at me crazy and talk crazy and thinking your camera is gonna get thrown in the ocean because what I said about the lady, and you're looking at me real funny, and you think you're gonna like act like a wise guy right in front of me. You're wrong. A lot of people are gonna be hating because you see girls in the street walking around with their bikinis and bottoms on, half naked, and and you look at the ladies real fast, and some punk ass dude will act like a wise guy, thinking he's gonna tell you to leave the ladies alone. You tell a person, no, I don't have to leave anybody alone. You're not my brother. You're not my father. Okay? You're not a cop. And stop acting like you're a police officer. Stop acting like you train these girls like they're horses on a stable. Because you're not like them. I like Dominican ladies. I like Latin chicks, Colombians. I don't care what stuff you say about me. Because I don't give a flying fuck. You're going to respect me whether you like it or not. I don't care. I don't give a damn if you tell me to leave the girls alone. I don't really give a flying F about you telling me to leave the girls alone. I could talk to the woman. I'm trying to have conversations with them. I'm not rubbing up against them. But when you came up and told me that, I know you're a stupid wise guy. You want to be conning me about leaving the girls alone. I should have told the brother. If you tell me to leave the girls alone, why don't you go to the store and buy a dildo and stick it up your girlfriend's ass? You know what I'm saying? Because you're thinking people are going to look at a woman that's very beautiful, and people get very infatuated, and people are going to start reflecting on things that they see on social media, that they see on Facebook, that they see on porn websites. Do you think ladies going to walk around half naked in the street and she disrespects men? And the bro be like, oh, put some clothes on. Stop walking in the street half naked. And some guy wants to call you a pervert. You know what they do? People like to run their mouth. They like to run their mouth like you're a ghost and he's Pac-Man. They want to run their mouth like this. They want to run their mouth like a Sesame Street puppet. All they want to do is chit chat about looking at my girl. Oh, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you because you're looking at my lady. I'm not with that, bro. Maybe I can duck my head if you're hanging out with your girl. Because I know you have those jealous eyes, and those jealous eyes need to calm down. Because you know what? You're talking about a lady that you're down with, and you don't want nobody to be looking at her. You're just acting like a scumbag that you want people to fight you because People looking at your lady, you want to beat up people, look at your lady, get out of here with that. A lot of people are going to see your lady, whether you like it or not. If you want to be a real wise guy and a spiteful mother flower, you better check yourself. Somebody wrecks yourself. Because those jealous eyes you have are bad for your health. You know? You want to exaggerate and people look at you the wrong way and you look at people hard. You want to say, oh, I'm going to smack you. I'm going to beat the hell out of you. You're thinking you're a tough guy. You could be a tough guy. Somebody could be bigger than you from the tough guy and you run away like a wuss. Your punk ass runs away like a wuss. If you don't got no respect for your girl, that people looking at her, you got no respect for nobody. And if you don't want nobody to look at your girl, you're about to get your ass whipped from saying that to somebody. And you want to call people perverts and thinking you're the man, thinking you're a hot shot, think you want to be so macho like Randy Savage. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You want to have those jealous eyes popping out of your veins, thinking your girl's a shit. You don't want nobody to be looking at her like you treating her like she's top secret. You're wrong. Everybody sees your lady. Don't get your mind messed up because the girl looks so gorgeous and the boyfriend comes out with a baseball bat. Now he's getting ratchet and violent. Then he wants to look to beat the hell out of you. Then he brutally attacks you and guess who gets arrested doing that? The boyfriend does. He could do a long time in jail. He could be detained and arrested from beating you up because you looked at his girl. Some other neighbors might call the cops on him because somebody looked at his girl and brutally beat the crap out of somebody in the street. And who goes to jail? The boyfriend goes to jail. That's your answer. That hangs out with the girl and has those jealous eyes. And he don't want nobody to look at the lady, thinking he is top dollar, top dog, macho man, dick shot, hot to trot. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to be like that. Well, nobody shouldn't be like that. All right, y'all. This is Jay Funkadelic, the Funkable Operator Podcast, episode 49. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.